but wasn't there something specific that we wanted to
About
talk to?
Anthony's. Well, we could. I mean, we could at some point work into the fact that everyone who Anthony loves is dead except me and his mother and his wife.
Okay, all right. So there we go. I knew there was something.
Yeah, the man comes from a family who were, I want to say, dropping like flies because they dropped. Everyone
Yeah,
dropped.
most of them have dropped. There's only a few. There's a few of us left who still have to drop, but most have dropped.
God takes the ones he loves first.
Yeah, he really was. He really was fond of all of my aunts. Apparently,
And his dad was a hitman.
That's what it. Okay, that's what it was. Is wait,
Yeah.
are you into talking about that at all, Anthony?
I'm into talking about whatever, man. You got me. I mean, I was promised. Greg promised me a very healthy check for doing this, so I'm really just doing this for a surplus of money. So you can bring up whatever you want. I'll change our political affiliation for how much money he promised me.
All right. Well, I mean, that's between the two of you. You guys figure that out. But if you want to switch sides, politically, it's fine with me. I'm okay.
Also, Rob, I'm gonna have to borrow some money.
Okay, that's cool.
He did, and Rob, Greg's words exactly were, "Don't worry, the money is coming from Rob." And then the next sentence he said was, "He's got spools of it at home."
I am in over my head, brother.
Ask away, man. Whatever you want to know, I'll tell you.
I mean, first of all, there's multiple things that we discussed. But the way Greg put it, everyone you love is dead besides him, which I think is a great way to start.
Yeah.
Usually when we start these podcasts and we have a guest, the first question I ask everybody is just what like your relationship with death is like. Do you think about it a lot? Are you like worried about death? Is it something you constantly think about? Like, do you feel like you're like constantly thinking about dying?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I'm worried about it, but it's on my mind all the time as a reality.
Yeah.
But I guess it's an accepted reality, and I think as you get older too, you feel more in line. I think when you cross a certain threshold of age, you feel more in line with the dying group than you do the newborn living group. So I think I view myself more in the dying group now. So, but I'm the youngest of the dying group, so I'm not very worried about it, but it's definitely more of a presence in my life than happening to me. It's always been a presence in my life I've been surrounded by death since I was born, but now it feels like I'm in that group. But I'm also a hypochondriac, so every now and again, something new or something old will happen on my body, and then immediately, like I think I'm going to be dead in a week.
Well, I don't know that you're a hypochondriac, and because when everyone you love is dying, you have to be on guard. Like I think you're just at the night gate, waiting for who's going to attack next, and always vigilant.
Yeah, I think that probably is a better way to put it. So, I mean, my experience with being born into this world, one of the earliest memories I have is my mom very frighteningly telling me that my dad died in a car accident, which obviously years later turned out to not be true. I mean, it happened in a car, not an accident. We can go through that later. But so I was very aware that a very early age, I was very aware that my dad died in a car accident, so anytime my mom left the house, I was very worried she was going to die in a car accident. My family has a history of cancer, and pretty early age, my aunt Marlene got lung cancer, and then my grandmother had 3 strokes. I think medical conversations were very ever present in my household. And I think the frailty of the human body was very present in my household. So to what Greg is saying, I think that informed the way I feel about my own body, where, yes, I'm very vigilant that this thing is going to take me out at any moment. So I'm just on guard.
So is being vigilant just finding a weird like lump and then worrying about it for like 2 weeks? Or are we like going to the doctor? Are we like getting blood work done? Are you doing that kind of stuff like consistently?
Both. Yeah, I would say both. The amount of wasted money I've spent on blood work and hospital bills is outrageous.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3 aunts, 4 technically, and then my grandmother and great grandmother, and plus my mom. All of them are gone except for my Aunt Bev and my mom. So, I guess it's like the same, however many championships LeBron won as opposed to finals appearances kind of stats.
The amount of times I've gone to the emergency room and I'm literally checked in, waiting to go back, and halfway through I just start feeling better, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should just leave right now, and then you're just like embarrassed to leave. So you're like, I guess I'll just go and.
Totally. You're also, too, you have that weird moment where you're almost like perversely praying for something to be wrong because you know how much and how expensive the bill is going to be. So you're like, $1,200, this better be testicular cancer.
Greg, are you somebody as well who just like goes to the emergency room out of just sheer panic? Or I feel like you're not that kind of person.
No, because I have a little bit of medical knowledge. So when I used to work in the ER,
So
I knew a lot of those guys. So I don't really freak out about medical stuff too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes every now and again it would happen where things are going too well, so then I assume something has to give.
Yeah.
So this
The
is
other
it.
shoe's got to drop. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean that was the issue for me was growing up. It was my family, not every single one of them, but like it was all medical stuff for the most part, aside from my dad.
Yeah.
That was more of a bullet issue. But for the rest of them, it was all medical stuff. So it definitely ingrained in me a distrust of my own body.
Sure. Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I feel like we can't really brush over the fact that your dad died of a bullet problem.
Sure. Yeah, that was the official diagnosis from doctor.
So it wasn't a car crash. I understand your mom, you're young. Car crash is better than your dad was killed. I mean, what happened exactly?
So my dad was a made guy in an organized crime family, and whatever, series of events led to, he had to be taken care of. So I don't know the ins and outs of it, but he was found in the trunk, and yeah, he was shot a number of times, and found, in the trunk of, I believe, his own car.
How old were you when you found out that that's actually what happened?
All of the details I didn't find out till I was 30 years old. When I was 18, because my mom had never really told me anything about him other than like sort of what she had constructed based on what I might want from a father, and little bits and pieces of who he was, what she could find useful to raising me. And then I was playing basketball. I was playing pickup basketball, and there was a guy there who I had never seen before. After the game, he was like, "Oh, hey, I'm your cousin from your father's side." And I really knew nothing about my father's side. I went home and told my mom, and that was the moment she told me about my dad. Not everything, but she did tell me he didn't die in a car accident, that he was, that it was, I guess, gang related, so to speak. And then, but I didn't know the gory details until I was a little bit later.
What are the gory details?
Sorry, yeah, you might have been gone. I think you were fixing.
Oh, yeah, I know he was found, but I wasn't sure if there's like gory details, like
the bullet wounds, the I guess the ceremony of it all. Like there was cash placed over him and stuff.
It is crazy that we've talked about this, so it's so hard for me to talk to you about this because we've talked so much about it. It's just crazy how you could have been who you are. Like you couldn't be any more different than what your father was, as far as you're not in the mob. You're not even organized.
Yeah, the big ones, the two big ones.
I mean, how different do you think you'd be if your dad was still alive right now?
Oh, I mean, I think I would still be this, some kernel of the same person on the inside, but I think I'd be very different. I wouldn't have had the freedom to sort of be exactly who I am and sort of chase down avenues of expressing myself. But there would be me in there. It would just be, these sort of you get like small glimpses of who I could have been, I think, without ever knowing who I actually could have been. So, real sliding doors kind of stuff.
Sure. Yeah. And this cousin that you ran into that sort of like sparked all of this new information. Are you close with the cousin, or are you like trying to like be a part of that outside of your family, or is that just like non-existent?
Not. I mean, I don't know that I'm actively trying, but I'm also not opposed. Um, um, but no, yeah, there's no ill will, there's no anger, there's no anything.
Sure.
It's like a matter of and and that might be something that in the future comes to pass where we become closer. But there hasn't been any activity on that front. Not for, any reason other than I think just laziness, to be honest with you, and I'm just kind of busy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sort of what Greg was saying, it's like for you to come from like that sort of background and now you're basically I don't know, is stand-up comedian the opposite of hitman or mob boss? I don't know what the opposite is, but I mean, I feel like you've reached the other complete opposite side of the spectrum.
Yeah, I mean there are cosmetic similarities, but they really only go so far,
Yeah.
where I'm mainly out at night, paid in cash.
Yeah.
There you go. That's
Two
true.
killers, twin flames, But that it's really
It's closer than most jobs because my dad was a refrigerator salesman, and you could say that's also the polar opposite of stand-up comedian.
right.
But I think I think Hitman is actually kind of, they both kill. That's a stupid thing to say. Both around a lot of alcohol and bars, like you're saying.
Yeah.
Nightclub, night people.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of, and like you're on the road so much and you're by yourself a lot. Like I weirdly feel a kinship, and I don't even know if he had a memory like this. I feel probably the most kinship when I'm in a strange city by myself during the day,
Right.
and I don't know anybody there. I feel like maybe that's a memory he might have. You know what I mean? Like that's something he might also go through or have went through in witness protection if he ever ended up there, and or just like, killing time before a meeting in a city where you don't really know anybody or whatever. I don't know. I don't know why, but I always feel that I feel most aligned with him in those moments.
No, I mean basically, yeah, what I said was completely wrong. There are so many similarities.
Do you think you could kill somebody?
Yeah, I think so.
For real?
Such a good question.
You for real, man. Yeah.
Such a good question.
Me too. I think everybody can. I think everybody has the capacity for it. It's just a matter of, I mean, from everything I've, because I look, and this is all an abstraction, but from things I've read, because to do the show and to learn more about him, I do the show about him. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I've had to learn more about like the psychology of anyone who kills, and it really does seem to boil down to just a removal of your empathy in a hot flash. And if everyone can do that, we've all done that. We've all been in traffic. We've all had a moment where it's gone.
Yeah, but then you regret it. I guess what I'm asking is, can you live with yourself if you killed somebody?
I don't think I could. I think maybe I could, but I think it would ruin me as a person. But I think anybody could kill. I don't think that's like unique.
Like someone breaks in with a gun, they're going to shoot you and Julia.
Sure.
You got a moment to react. You kill this person. You think you're going to sleep at night, or you think that's bothering you?
I think it's bothering me. I don't think I'm going right back to bed. I mean, I guess it depends how tired I am and when they've broken in.
Yeah.
How exhausting the killing was. Yeah.
What I have to do in the morning. But no, I don't think I'm going back to bed. Do you think you'd go back to bed, Greg?
Let me tell you this.
He said
someone breaks in to kill my family.
Yeah.
As soon as I kill them, I'm finishing my sandwich.
He thinks it would have zero effect on him.
Yeah, man. You really think you're gonna have this hero Marvel movie?
No, it's not a hero thing. It's not a hero thing. I just truly know if someone broke into my house, whether or not it was like their last thing and they put my family in danger, like, and I have the means to kill them, I know that I had no other options, right? Like, because here's the thing about being fat, right? It's not like, oh, I could have used less lethal tactics. There's only one tactic if someone breaks in my house: murder them. I can't jujitsu this guy. I can't outrun him. It's like me and my family, I'm going right to bed. But I will say, like, if I killed someone road rage, I won't be able to sleep.
Yeah. But you're saying the break-in, you would finish the sandwich.
I'm saying if someone broke into my house and my kid's life was in any way in danger, finishing the sandwich. I sit right back down, dip that French dip right into some au jus, and it drips on his bloody head.
What does the fact that the scenario being different have anything to do with the fact that you would just be so calm afterwards? Like, I understand you're saying I would be able to kill somebody because I'm protecting my family, and then I would just it would have zero effect on me. But if you're killing a guy in road rage, you're still killing a human. You just think your brain would just be able to
No, it was
separate.
road rage. It's my fault. Road rage. I'm upset. I'm like, I shouldn't have done that. I snapped. That guy probably he had a bad moment. But if it comes to my kid's life, it's like, oh, there was no other options. Like there were no options. I would probably take a minute before I finish my sandwich. I'd probably jerk off first. But aside from that,
So every night, do you make yourself a half a sandwich just in case somebody breaks in, so you can have this moment? You got someone that finished your turkey sandwich.
I cut it with an axe, a small little hand axe I have, and I slice it in half, and I go just in case.
So you've clearly thought about this a bunch. What are the details of this scene for you?
What do you mean?
Someone breaking in, your kids, the whole thing.
Oh, many, right? Like
Down
there's a
to
scene
the sandwich you're making, I would say.
Usually it's like probably Chick-fil-A that they do a 2-for-1. So I don't finish the sandwich. I start the second sandwich, which in my head, I'm like, you don't eat 2. You always eat 2. You always regret it. I'll regret eating the second sandwich more than I would killing the guy who came into my house.
You got to save the second sandwich for after the killing. You have the first one before.
It's so funny to be like, if your wife or whoever comes home and they're like, why does he always leave the second sandwich? You're like, oh, that's his little treat in case someone breaks in and tries to kill us all.
Precisely.
Don't touch daddy's post-murder treat.
Post-murder treat. That's a band name. Post-murder treat. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that like death is bad, but I don't think I give a shit if like if I'm driving my car and a bunch of protesters, or I don't know what they're protesting, but they're stopping the car and they're coming at my car with like an axe, and I gotta plow through them to get my kid
Sure.
out of it. Yeah, man. Like not protesters, but like maybe gang members, or like they're trying to take my money and my children to sell them. I'm plowing through you in the Subaru, brother. I don't know if I could eat a person. Like if you died on like in a plane and I had to eat you to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Cooking you would be. I would want to do it, but it's hard. That's a hard thing to do. Plus, I can't cook.
What if it's professionally cooked? Like a chef prepares you a human being.
Talk about this a lot, right? Because I do believe cannibalism is good. I think that people should be eating each other. I think that's like the greatest way to honor it, man.
Like a waste of human meat. Yeah.
My life to sustain your life is beautiful. On paper. On paper, I like it. But, and if the chef is a problem, because the chef means the murder, like I would only want to eat Anthony if to survive. I don't know that I could eat him for fun or, deliciousness.
Because you're looking at the act of eating someone as
to
an homage to them.
Yeah, right.
I want to get there. It's kind of like the gay thing, where it's like, I would love to be gay, but it's, in practice, it's hard. But
sure,
on paper, it seems fun to have everybody, to be able to have sex with everybody. But, eating a person, I would only do if in a last resort. But I do think that we should change it culturally, that eating someone should become more accepted. With climate change and all that, and who knows where the world's going, they might be eating people a lot quicker.
Well, cannibalism might be a big part of the future. You don't know.
We're just going to be harvesting. I saw something on the internet recently about that we're basically at the point where we could clone humans in the sense of like stem cells and whatever other scientific methods are involved. But we could create like just like another version of ourselves as like whatever you want that to be, whether it's for Greg to have a snack or if you wanted to like organ harvest, whatever that. Here's a question. We could now clone ourselves. Greg, we'll start with you. You could you're gonna clone yourself. You're gonna watch another the exact version of you grow up in front of your eyes. But the point is, for the moment you either need a new heart or a new liver or a new lung, would you be able to just take younger Greg's organs so that you could continue to live?
We're growing with a brain, and he's sentient.
Yeah. It's
No, I can't do that.
it's you just growing up again.
No, he's got a right to live. I can't just. I could if they harvested one without a head or without a brain, I could do that. But if I'm looking at him, he's like, "Hey, man, I'm you, baby, you." He's like, what kind of monster would take a heart from a younger virgin child, Greg, that has thoughts and feelings?
You just said if you didn't have a head, you would be able to do it.
Yeah, because there's no brain.
Right.
I'd take Greg's spare meat bones.
I think that's just
like a barbecue plate.
all right.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I wouldn't. We're talking about a human being who's alive, who's just me, versus one who's not alive, who doesn't have a head.
But the point of them is so that you can live longer. That's the only reason they exist.
Nah,
You'd rather just die.
That's God's blessing right there, bro.
I feel like
You could do it. You could choke out younger Rob. You open the door. There's another Rob there. Also, he's probably in shape. He's probably healthier. He didn't put his body through what we put it through, right? And you just choke that man out and take his rib cage?
I mean, yeah, I know it would be difficult, but if I'm like on my deathbed and they're like, this will save you. All we got to do is just take young Rob's kidney and you're good. I think it'd be hard to say no to that.
I don't know.
Okay, what if I just use him for parts that won't kill him? Like if I just take one kidney.
But what if he needs a part? Are you going to give him the part?
Absolutely not. I'm his God. I created him. He's to help me.
No, that's mean, man. You got to give this guy your parts.
Yeah,
I'll say this.
Also,
go ahead, Anthony.
If you take some parts and keep him living on, you can't do that. You can't have poor younger Rob living on with like 3 fingers and a half a liver, and he's just sort of this factory for you to take whatever you want, and he still has like a job at the bank or whatever.
Yeah, some 2015 Greg just on bricks on my front lawn with half the parts missing, like an old Camaro.
Right.
Just slobbing around.
This poor guy's got his own like family and life,
right?
And now he has to navigate the next year without some of his toes.
Yeah, I do hate the idea of just like another Rob just on crutches, just because like I needed a new foot, or yeah. I mean, there would have to be like separation. He'd have to live like in a village somewhere where I just didn't see him, and I would just take parts and continue with my life.
Man, I'll tell you though, that guy's coming to your doorstep. That guy is going to be the guy that guy will be the guy that breaks in your house to kill you, and then he eats your sandwich as great justice.
I feel like we're writing a weird sci-fi movie right now.
Can I be crass again? I try not to keep it too dirty on this podcast, but I will.
Yeah.
Clone Greg. I mean, it's like a classic question in the group of people I hang out with. You clone Greg. I'm Greg. He walks in. He jerks me off. Is that masturbating or is it gay?
Yeah, because you're looking. I mean, I think if it goes back to your prior argument where you're looking at him as his own person, then I think you'd have to look at him as he jerked you off.
Yeah,
but I'm fine with it.
By another, you're just getting jerked off by another man. It's just another man that's also you.
But he also gets me like no one else gets me. So they're like, it's not weird because look, we know where this is going. I don't know what that makes it. Makes it better. He knows my moves.
It makes it a lot of things. I mean, I think it makes it. I don't even think it's not incest. It's beyond incest. First of all, it's
masturbating.
But still, he's another person, and he's you. So it's like, probably the most incest you could get.
Can you jerk you off, Anthony?
Yeah, I do this at like a weekly basis.
No, I'm saying Anthony sits next to you. He's exactly you. And he's like, look, man, I get it. You get it. Why don't you just jerk me off? This way I can enjoy it. Can you jerk you off?
I mean, honestly, man, I would go. If Anthony's me, he would go, I don't want to do this. And if I'm still me, I'd go, I don't want to put you through this. And also, too, I'd rather you not be here for this. I'd rather, if I'm going to masturbate, I'd rather not clone me, masturbate me, and I'm just me, masturbate me.
That's all very true.
What's worse, cloning somebody to jerk
The organs.
Organs thing.
The organs are a horrible thing, man.
The organs thing by a mile, man.
You keep trying to slide this in. That's a real weird thing you want to do.
Rob, that was a not so slick way to get back to you being a bad person.
Okay, but you're basically creating a sex slave for yourself.
I'm asking consent.
Yeah, there's consent.
Okay,
there.
so what happens when you take all this time and you clone another version of yourself, and then the first thing you ask it is, "Can we jerk each other off?" and it says no. Then you created
first.
That's not going to be the first thing you're asking.
The first thing I'm asking him.
What's the first thing?
How are you, bud? Jesus, you look just like me. You want something hungry? Can I help you?
Is that glue you're covered in taste funny?
Greg comes into sentience, and he's like, what am I? What is this? And then I just go, jerk me off. You're going to jerk me off. Can you jerk me off? You think that's how it's going to go down? I'm going to do a lot of explaining.
I'll tell you what, the first thing he's going to say is, I thought we were better than this. He's really you. He's not just like automatically very disappointed. Yeah.
Although, because he's so me, he might just come out and be like, I know exactly what you want.
Yeah,
let me just grab something to eat. I do want to see Tita, and then I'll come back up.
I'll tell you what, though, man. You keep this clone 3-organed person around for when this theoretical guy breaks in your house, and you come around the corner and he goes, I could take this guy. And then the weirdo clone comes around the corner. That is a moment.
Hobbles, because he's got no ankles.
Right.
But Rob's got fresh ankles.
I think what it comes down to is that we all want clones just for different reasons.
I'm good. I don't know that I want a clone. And I know for the sake of entertainment for a podcast, I should say that I do.
No, you should.
Say,
yeah.
But I don't. What's up?
I can convince you to want a clone. I can convince you to want a clone.
Get Greg like a Toyota salesman. I can get you in a clone yesterday.
Dude, what do I got to do to get you?
Always grifting. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, you have someone to write with. They get you. They get all your ideas. You can bounce your ideas off you, right? A. B, you always have someone to drive around with, right? Like, hey, you want to go for it? Yeah, you want to go? We'll go. You could talk. You get it. It's like having a twin brother who, like, you just get along with.
Yeah, you're basically just describing having a twin.
Yeah, but it'd be so predictable. I feel like if they're gonna get me to that level, I would get so bored by the predictability of it. I don't love repeatedly not being understood by people, but I do like the moment. I mean, I think that's kind of the fun in doing stand-up, that moment of like when the ball's still up in the air and you're like, how's this thing gonna land? So I think knowing the outcome of everything I say would be excruciating.
So real quick, I know the difference here between you and me. You don't have a brother. I have a brother. So the clone, essentially, I'd be getting a new, better brother, like a brother better than my brother because he gets me a little bit more. Like, I love my brother, but I'm saying, like, I'd have a new brother who wants to hang out all the time and wants to do all the things I want to do. That's very appealing.
I don't know, man. To have someone I don't like. Sometimes I don't like hanging out with someone who's just like me because it's just it's me on repeat. It's just it's repetitive. I like hanging out with you. That's why I like hanging out with you, because you're dissimilar to me in a lot of ways. So it makes it fun.
Well, the minute he's born, he's going to be a little different because immediately his things are going a different ways. You'd be like, hey, man, go to Europe for a year, come back, then hang. You know, it'll be like,
it'll be better with technology.
I think that's interesting. Is you get to see lives you didn't live out through your clone. I think that's fascinating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, Greg?
Yeah. No, I think so.
So that might sell me on getting a clone where you're like, I don't have the money. I'm in a marriage. I got a life. I got these things, but I would love to go live in Prague for a year, but I'm not doing it. You send your clone, and then you get the scoop of like what your memories. And then if we're able, the technology is there to trade memories. That's kind of interesting. Then you have these memories of you living over there.
Well, you wouldn't have the memories because they're not connected to your brain. It's a clone. He's like essentially.
I'm saying, man, but at some point we'll have a memory juice or some kind of memory transfer system.
Sure. Yeah.
None of this is real. Who cares? Why can't I say that?
It's kind of real.
It's not real for us, man. With the amount of money and the existence that we have.
Well, we throw this your way. Oh, go ahead.
No, please go.
Are you mad at me, Rob?
No, I just
okay.
Please go.
Zoom's tricky a little bit, but you just do this, and then I'll make sure I get.
No. What I was going to say was pointless. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say that, like, this kind of is mind-blowing to me with the clones thing. Is I was talking to my friend who is a twin, and his brother has kids. He doesn't have kids, and he was like, technically, the kids are as related to his brother as they are to him because they share the same DNA. So genetically, literally, it could be their dad, which I was like, I get it. It makes sense, but it's fucking crazy that genetically his brother is the same as him to the kids.
Yeah, that is crazy.
But that's what it's like having a clone.
I guess that goes back to nature versus nurture with me and my dad. If you wanted to bring the podcast back to stuff,
sure.
I was trying to do a thing that I've sometimes seen on other podcasts.
No, thanks for hosting this. Somebody should be doing it. Yeah.
In case Rob, you were worried about veering too far off topic. I think
no,
please get back on track.
Well, just quickly here, I will the nature versus nurture thing. There's this documentary. I can't remember what it's called, but it was about how there was like triplets, these 3 men that were all separated at birth. Did you guys ever see that?
I think I did not see it, but I know what you're talking about.
But it's essentially what it came down to was like, I think like some of the details, like they all had similar jobs. They all had like wives with the same exact name. Like it was like kind of crazy how many things were so similar about them, and they didn't meet each other until they were like in college. So I think nature versus nurture is definitely a real thing, but I think we don't give as much credit to what is like just in our DNA. And like you think you have this free will, but you really don't. Like you're kind of already predestined to make certain decisions. I wish I could remember what the documentary was called, but it was really interesting and also kind of crazy because I think it was in Long Island. And there was just like some crazy doctor who was just like splitting up. He was like doing his own experiments on twins, basically, and like splitting children up and not telling the parents that they had twins, and then coming to visit them and like was studying them. Basically, it's crazy.
So I saw this. I want to see what your guys' take is on this. Right?
Yeah.
I saw this tweet to James Gunn. It's kind of dark. Yeah. It says, "Hey, my dad George is 71 and he is dying of multiple sclerosis. He's a huge Superman fan, and we see every release together at least once. We were going to go see the new Superman movie in July when it comes out, but to be honest, I'm not entirely sure he's going to make it. This is a Hail Mary, but it might cheer him up to see it early, just in case. And, totally understand if it's not possible. If anyone has this, if anyone has read this, please post their social. I don't know what the fuck that, and some other crap. But essentially, this guy is tweeting at James Gunn to be like, hey, can me and my dad come see the Superman movie early because he might die? There's a few things to unpack here. One, if he's lying, what a move, right?
Yeah.
And the internet, all the comments, a lot of them are like, this is a bullshit thing, right? A lot of people are just calling it, right? And then he responds and he's like, no, look at my post. You can see my dad has multiple sclerosis. I swear there's a thing. Two, how if he does that, the jobs, like, and this guy spoils it, like so many people could lose their jobs. Like the entire DC universe is riding on James Gunn nailing this movie. So what do you guys think? What do you do? Do you let this guy see the movie? Does he not see the movie? Does James Gunn just go, nothing I can do, brother. Sorry, pal.
The dad should be able to see it, and then he could tell the son about it because he's going to die. The son's not going to die. Right. I think you gotta get a doctor's note saying he's got 3 days left to live, and you show it to him on day 2, and then that's it.
No, I just think there's just so much more riding on the line with that movie than just letting a guy and his kids see it, right? Like, there's so much that could go wrong.
Yeah, I don't think the kid should be able to see it. If you're actively dying, I think you should be allowed to. But that's it.
So we should do that. We should have movies for people who are dying. which is like, hey, are you dying? Here are the movies that are coming out in the next 5, and like maybe the script is halfway there, and they just explain to you what happens. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, want to know how, the Marvel universe ends? They go, this is kind of our plan, but you're gonna die. Don't worry.
There should be a Netflix for people that are actively dying.
Yes.
Yeah, I think there's some kind of unfortunate. I think there's like legal ramifications that I think you throw the family's way. I like this idea of there's a month early access, however many months, whatever it is, for the dying, specifically for the dying. But if any of this is leaked, the family incurs, like, they're able to be sued. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, sign like an NDA or something.
yeah,
And they got to go hard. They got to be like, we're going to ruin your child's life if you tell anybody what happened here. You get that, right? Enjoy the movie, but know that if you fuck up,
right.
Yeah,
your family will not come back from the financial ruin we will put them through.
Imagine you see a movie a year before it's supposed to come out because you're about to die, and then you make an incredible recovery, and now you're no longer dead, and now you have to wait a year before you can talk to anyone about the movie.
Yeah. Or I would even
That
say
seems
this
worse than multiple sclerosis.
Or two, the studio knows it's a flop. They set this up so it leaks so they can sue the person to make their money back. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. There's definitely been instances like with when like Star Wars came out, like the newer ones, there were definitely people who were like, I'm gonna die. I can't believe I'm gonna miss Star Wars. And I'm pretty sure like the Lucas brand or whatever had multiple screenings for like people that were going to die because they didn't want to miss the most recent Star Wars. So it's definitely been done.
I like the idea too of a guy who's a huge fan, sees it and goes, well, just kill me now. That's how bad this was.
I wonder if these are just happening and we don't know they're happening. There's like directors, like the Russo brothers are like, okay, we got to set the screening up for Thursday, but we got to do this old Dead screening 2 months early. Those are always a bummer, but we shake hands. Most of them don't make it. No one's ever, that's your job, is to set up the Dead screenings.
Well, what do you think Make-A-Wish is? That's all Make-A-Wish is kids dying and them getting to meet John Cena or Taylor Swift or whoever it is while they like lay in a hospital bed and someone films it on their iPhone.
Yeah, almost like if you're Make-A-Wish, you must be like, man, go through us, because this usually, we got to get Kevin Durant to fly in to, play Uno with you. For this, you could just go to a movie theater. Like, they must be like, God.
Yeah, we'll send you a flash drive.
Yeah, what an easy day for us this would be than the normal hoops that we got to jump through.
But again, if you tell anyone, we'll destroy your parents' lives.
You're gonna have to match all the money we lost.
I think it's worth the risk.
But I do think, I think so.
Yeah.
I think if you're James Gunn too, this guy hasn't been followed around by good press for the past. I mean, not artistically, I think the guy's enormously talented, and I'm not defending or lambasting. I just know that his name has been, in the media with stuff that hasn't been great for him. So I don't think he would want further press if he's denying someone who has MS screening up.
Fuck that kid and his dying dad.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be good for him.
All right, well, here, what about this? If what's your Make-A-Wish? You got a week to live. You got anything in mind?
Yeah, I mean, there's like some nature stuff I still want to see. Some food I'd want to eat, but that's about it.
Food's a good one.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Exotic foods, maybe, some Yosemite, Yellowstone, something like that. And then otherwise, I might, there might be a couple shows. I'm trying to think if there's any shows or movies that I might want to take advantage of this. Probably maybe the end of House of Dragons or something like that. Although I don't really care that much, but I might just want to take advantage, you know what I mean, of that.
Like a writer could just tell you how it ends. You don't need to actually watch it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think I need to watch the full thing. But I think some combination of that would work for me.
Yeah. Yeah, food
I
would
know.
definitely be it. Greg, you got one?
I know exactly what I would do. It's a 3-tier thing. I would start off the day at this place called, I think it's called Sojourn. I don't know. It's this place with all these pools. Remember we went for my birthday? They got all these like hot tubs. That was
It's a day spa in Edgewater, New Jersey.
Yeah, I would go to the day spa in Edgewood, New Jersey. Then I would go to Galaxy's Edge in Disney World on mushrooms. Right, I really want to take mushrooms and go fly the Millennium Falcon, and then have to end the day with a 3-way. Just, I would like to be in a threesome. That's the thing. How many Make-A-Wishes are they just like, what's your Make-A-Wish? A 3-way. And then they're like, I don't know, Timmy.
These are all things that you could do on your own, though.
No, I don't have the money for Star Wars or the looks for the 3-way.
I think Greg needs a week to live to be able to pull off a 3-way. I'd put us all in that category, to be honest with you. But that's really good, man. And I think you're right. I think that's probably Make-A-Wish is like we typically don't do from the years of 12 to 16-year-old boys because we're getting a lot of the same wish, you know?
Yeah.
They're probably like, sucks for you that you got bone cancer, but no, we can't get Victoria Beckham here to give you a hand job.
Yeah, there needs to be like another version of Make-A-Wish for horny
dirty wish.
16-year-olds.
Make a dirty wish. I think that's a fun movie, Greg. That you become
Make a dirty wish.
Make a dirty wish, and that's your company.
Hilarious.
And that's a movie.
I was just thinking that what you guys are talking about. I want to start a website or a GoFundMe, and the funding goes to get every man over 40 who wants it to be in a 3-way. So it's like you all sign up, and we get funding, and it's like we're our goal is so that everyone over 40 who wants one can be in a 3-way.
Yeah. That's great.
You know,
awesome.
I'll do a website and everything.
Mm-hmm. That's great. I think that's a great idea for a movie.
Yeah,
we would need women to be like, hey, you guys gotta help. We need women.
Is it like a Willy Wonka kind of thing? Do you have like an outfit? Like do they show up to a castle of some sort?
Yeah, my red velour suit, and I bring people in, and I go, well, your 3-way, your dreams are my commands. And then just some lady who's done an 8-hour shift. She's like, can I get a break? I'm like, you can, but we got a long line, so it's fine. You could, I'm good about breaks, but I do want to know if you get a break, we still got to complete all these guys. The ones are big today.
You got to come up with a schedule.
Yeah. But God bless them,
I think you could do it, Greg.
Yeah, I would love to do a GoFundMe. People are like, hey, what are you doing this show for? It's like, we're raising money to get men over 40 a 3-way. What kind of men? Any man who signs up.
Anyone who signs up.
And I say, else to sign up.
Yeah. I think
the only criteria is you haven't had one.
Yes.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
If you've had one, you're out, man.
Yeah.
You can't get off the line and get back on the line. You can't. Or a woman, too. I'm going to say, like, if a woman wants to be in a 3-way for some reason she feels she couldn't, of course, you could sign up, too. But primarily, I would imagine that's probably easier for a woman to be in a 3-way if she wants one. Getting every person a 3-way who wants one by 2030. Greg Stone promise.
Greg's version of Project 2025.
We live in a world, it's like where people shouldn't be hungry. We also live in a world where everyone can have a 3-way. There's really no reason why we can't.
I'm picturing Greg with like the earpiece doing a TED talk about it years later, where he's just telling everybody.
The only party I belong to, it's not Republican or Democrat, it's Sex Party.
Oh, the sex party is something I would vote for.
See, now if you did this for people that were dying, I think you could probably get the funding. Somebody would throw.
We're all dying, man.
That's
just especially over 40, boy.
I think you start off with it's just for people that are dying, and then just like as any business, like when Chick-fil-A introduces burgers and hot dogs, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you sprinkle them in.
We're now expanding
French fries to Taco Bell.
Yeah, exactly. Now we're expanding to anyone over 40.
Anyone over 40, man. I see what's the thing, man. And we just got to get people who are down.
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, all right, fuck it. I'll sign up.
Yeah.
The 3-way, maybe you could do as an app. I don't know if it needs an app. It's not that urgent, I think you just go on a wait list.
I can't imagine a scenario where it's urgent. I mean, except for the dying. But I can't imagine
a Make-A-Wish version.
The words emergency three-way are not words that are often put together.
Another great band name though.
Emergency three-way.
That is a great band.
It's an emergency. Yeah, emergency three-way is a fun band.
That's a great band name. I think we did it, guys. I think we did it.
A lot of fun. Thanks for
This was
thanks
fun.
for having me. This was great.
Yeah, thanks for doing it, buddy. I mean, I feel like this is probably the most all over the place episode, but I feel like we covered everything that was important.
Yeah.
Cloning in 3 ways. I think we got it.
Yeah.
I think we got it. Greg, any
think I'm
final
gonna start
thoughts?
I'll tell everybody, check out my new sex podcast. Pure Sex. Co-hosts to be determined. Asher up to be determined. Yeah. This is going to be the same three, this same group. Yeah, he's running back.
They'll be on it.
They get some hookers on there. Oh, check out our podcast. I do another podcast with Anthony
Yes.
called Welcome to Talktown. It's very fun. We love it. And check out my
Yes, go
special,
check that
Nobody
out.
Presents Greg Stone.
And then Anthony, you just filmed a new special, right? When's that coming out?
I don't know. Probably the fall, I would imagine.
Okay.
If everything goes smooth, and then there's not real run up except for just promoting. So probably my aim is September, but we'll see. But yeah,
Very cool.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, fellas. Well, again, I think we did it.
We did it.
man.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Talk to you later,
Thanks.
Anthony.
Nice meeting you, Rob.
Yeah, nice meeting you too, buddy.